Entanglement, created by Arthur Rumrill. The eye hung in the air, floating on impossible currents, not falling, not blinking. Just there. Massive, gelatinous, translucent in patches like overripe jelly left too long in the heat. Veins of darker fluid threaded through the bulk, slow and sluggish. Dozens of smaller eyes sprang up across its surface like soap bubbles sailing on a larger bubble, pupils dilating lazily as they drifted in lazy orbits. Bands of unknown energy sparked and crackled around the core, orbital tracks like satellites or proton rings, never quite touching. The morning was too perfect. High cliff overlooking azure seas, grass soft and thick right to the edge of the 200-foot drop, slate gray and ink-black mountains rising steady behind me. Sunlight climbed without hurry. Waves far below lapped like polite applause. I stood breathing salt and dew, wrapped in the kind of calm that usually means something is about to break.
Join us!
The voice did not emit. It exploded like vomit. 1,000 throats convulsed in perfect unison, forcing the command out in one wet, ragged heave. Join climbed high and piercing, a bright acidic spike drilling into my skull. US dropped heavy and low, dragging everything down like bile hitting the floor. No elegance, no harmony, just rupture. The actual sound split the morning dew into waves of hot ozone. Cool mist parted in violent ripples, replaced by metallic burn that clung to my lungs, stinging and electric. The iron stench permeated next, sharp, coppery, wet like fresh blood oxidizing in open air, layered beneath the ozone like a darker current. My throat tightened. Saliva flooded my mouth, tasting faintly of pennies. Another heave.
Join us!
This time the discord showed. Tones clashed beneath the unison, bones scraping against bones, no cartilage left to cushion the grind. The high note fractured into wet coughs, the low one gurgled like drowning. The air thickened with vomitous reek, half-digested lives regurgitated into dawn. Until contact. The first drop struck the dirt and bloomed. Clear, pale amber, deep ochre, greasy, iridescent black-green. The slime drank the color from the earth, concentrating it into that sick sheen. The ground darkened in a perfect mirror, soil bleeding upward, slime bleeding downward until the boundary vanished. No flame, just the acid burn of contact. The dirt surrendered quietly. Top layer softened, unraveled, clay swelling and splitting, sand pitting inward until grains collapsed to oily dust, roots liquefying into thin brown mucus. Warmth rose in slow pulses, fever warm, not searing. 101 degrees, 102 degrees creeping into my shoes, tenderizing the soles of my feet until nerves prickled, then dulled. The crater sank, not dug, edges slumping in soft collapses, pooling at the bottom into a shallow lake of churning black-green broth. Bubbles rose and popped with wet sighs, releasing thin vapor, spoiled milk, corroded pennies, faint marrow exposed to air. The eye lowered another inch. Its reflection quivered in the pit like a wound staring back. The burn continued without pause, patient, thorough, intimate. It didn't consume. It digested. I felt the warmth reach my ankles now, subtle, insistent, the faint slickness in my own saliva tasting of metal and bile. The cliff edge frayed further, soil grains trickling down the new slope in dark, glistening trails. Pebbles loosened and tumbled toward the center, vanishing into the muck with faint sucking sounds.
Join us!
The voice came again, quieter this time, almost coaxing, but the eye pulsed harder, squeezing out another colorless rope. It fell, clear and slow. Waiting for contact, waiting to bloom, waiting to claim. The warmth climbed faster, calves, knees, like my legs were soaking in the same fevered broth. Skin felt too soft, too pliant, as if the soles were melting inward. The pit widened beneath me, the cliff lip crumbled in a slow, wet slide. Gravity tilted. I pitched forward, arms windmilling, the black-green lake rushing up to meet. Blackout. Silence. Not the absence of sound, but the sudden cessation of everything. No waves, no wind, no choral thunder, no sizzling dirt. I woke in the chamber. Hexagonal enclosure. Walls of armored glass rising 9 feet tall. curving inward at the top like a sealed hive cell. The air was still, cool, sterile. No salt, no ozone, no iron, no bile. Just faint metallic tang, like the inside of a new refrigerator. The glass was dark blue now, deep, almost midnight, refracting the dim overhead light into cold, watery patterns across the floor. I blinked, head pounding. Wasn't that deep red before? I pressed a palm to the glass. It was warm, fever warm. The same slow pulse that had crept up my legs on the cliff. No give, no sound when I tapped. Just that low, barely there hum, like distant machinery breathing. A single small eye bubbled up on the inner surface, clear at first, then blooming the same iridescent black-green as it pressed outward, pupil dilating toward me. It didn't speak. It just watched. And somewhere, faint as a whisper through thick water, the chorus lingered, not exploding now, not vomiting, just waiting, patient, thorough, intimate.
Join us.